Hello! 3 signs that a Taurus likes you. Alright, number 1, they will be remarkably consistent. Taurians do not make extra effort for anybody, or actually effort at all for anybody. And that's not a bad thing. It's not like Taurians are necessarily lazy. I know that's like the shadow side of Taurus, so some Taurians definitely are lazy. But then you got lazy people of all sun signs. But in any case, Taurians definitely can take it to a whole other level when, especially if they get like caught in a rut or anything. But that's a whole other whatever. When it comes to somebody that they like, somebody that they're interested in, they will go the extra mile. And it can be incredible at how far that extra mile actually becomes an extra 10 miles. And especially if y'all are really clicking and there's just a really beautiful psychological harmony between you and them, they will go above and beyond to make you happy, to give you pleasure, to involve you into their life. And they'll just be consistent. It all depends, it's hard to say exactly in like what spheres they'll be consistent in. For example, a Taurian with Mercury Gemini will be a lot more consistent with communication, whereas maybe a Taurian with Mercury Aries will be a lot more consistent as per making plans with you, sticking with them, doing things together and whatnot. So it's always good to keep that in mind, that there's so much more to a person's birth chart than just the sun sign. And if this is a new concept to you, I really recommend you check out alabe.com, ALABE.com. That's where I saw my birth chart for free. Hey, like 9 years ago, something like that. Yeah, it was just over 9 years ago. So that's really good to check out all the other stuff. But in any case, every Taurus does have that. They're a Taurus. They have those qualities of Taurus. And again, being consistent is a great sign that they like you. Whether it's consistent communication or consistent this or consistent that, that's a really good sign. All right, number 2, they'll be real with you. Taurians in general are very sweet, very affectionate people, very, very natural, very... I always seek a better word than this to try and describe them, because I think it gives the wrong idea, but simple. They're simple. Not that they're not stupid. They're not anything like that. They're just straightforward. They're very natural people. And so it's not that they'll ever necessarily play games with you. I mean, obviously, again, other energies can sometimes change that, but ultimately if they're in a good mood, they'll be friendly, they'll be happy with you. And they'll let you in on at least a little bit of what they're thinking, what's going on in their life, what they're feeling. But a sign that a Taurus likes you is when they really let you in. So it's not just the superficial thing that they'll say to maybe anybody, or even like, a friend or something like that, where they'll maybe go that extra bit telling you. They're really letting you in. They're letting you know their hopes, their fears. That's such a key sign that they like you, is they're actually involving you into their inner thought processes, because that's a really sacred space for a Taurus. And they don't necessarily, again, it kind of goes back to number 1, they don't want to make an effort of, they're not like a Gemini like myself. Well, I don't even actually, even with Geminis, there's a certain limit reached, of course, but certainly the limit reached of just information flow and being willing to tell people is a lot more on average with a Gemini than with a Taurus. So when a Taurus is really letting you into what they're really thinking about, that means that they think that you're worth the effort. And also they're letting you have the sacred privilege of planting seeds in their garden, whether that's that sounds like a sexual innuendo, whether that's mental seeds, like sharing ideas or thoughts of, I don't know quite what to make of this situation, or I don't know quite what to do next. That means, now we're talking like, this is a Taurus likes you and trusts you. This isn't just like, oh, they just like you and you're just getting to know them. It takes some time. And actually that could be a whole other number on its own, is getting to know a Taurus. I mean, yeah, of course, they're lovely, straightforward people, just like fixed signs in general are. And so I don't know, that's kind of a generalization that could be taken the wrong way, but it's a good thing to be focused. It's a good thing to be simple. That's ultimately, I mean, that clarity of mind and of heart and of being is what we're all seeking, is in one way or another. So that's not a bad thing whatsoever. That's a beautiful thing. But getting back on track. But to really get to know, I mean, to know anybody, but I think especially a Taurus, it takes time. It takes investment of sincere attention and energy. You have to really get to know them and be patient. Not, again, because they're necessarily hiding dark secrets or anything, or such big vulnerabilities or anything. It's just for them to be really comfortable and for it to make sense to them and to be worthwhile to open up in that way. That's a big deal. And so when you get involved in when you're allowed to get involved in the intimate details of a Taurian's life, it might seem like it's not huge stuff, but it makes all the difference. If it is actually making an impact on the Taurian's life, well, your thoughts, your feelings, etc., then that's a really good sign that they trust you, that they like you, that again, at that point, I mean, y'all are probably already dating, but at the very least, you're about to date. Because when they actually let you in on the ground level of what's happening, the real like meat and potatoes of their life, that's a really special thing. And that means that they care about you and they're involving you. I think that's what it comes down to, is when they're involving you on the practical reality of their life. That's a really good sign. And actually that goes a lot with number 3. There'll be solid, tangible assets that they're willing and even eager to share with you to cement the relationship further. Again, Taurians do not waste time or energy. They are the geniuses of that in so many ways. Where, I mean, sometimes, they can kind of get carried away with pleasure and whatnot, but even then, like that, it was worth it. It was enjoyable. It was sensual. It was lovely. If they are seeking to unite some kind of major joint asset with you, whether it's a project or a house and living together, or of course, I mean, a marriage or something. I mean, that's a pretty good sign that they like you if they want to get married with you. But whenever there's something that's tangible, it's not just, oh, I would love to do, ideas and words and all that stuff, but actually like, okay, push comes to shove, this is happening. Are you in? Are you down? Is this happening? Are we going to do this? Whatever the project or whatever the tangible thing might be. Having a baby together. Again, that's a pretty good sign that they like you. But that's really important for a Taurus, because Taurians, as long as they're healthy psychologically, they're handling their stuff mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. They take their assets. They take life really seriously, and that's a great gift of being so focused and so straightforward in that way, is that you can trust a Taurus to be focused and loyal if they actually care about something, if they care about somebody and anything attached to that person, because that means that person brings love into their life, and they're willing to do anything for love. And that's such an incredible gift, and it's such an incredible gift to receive for a Taurus who loves you or who likes you and maybe will love you. But so that the solid tangible assets, I think that's a key thing. And I think kind of going along with that is they're willing to pay for you to have, it kind of depends on the Taurus. Some Taurians are more into the luxury item thing, and then some are more into the experiences. But whether it's experiences or luxury items or some kind of combination of both, that's a really good sign that they like you too. Again, I think that kind of boils down a lot of these things. That all these numbers kind of boil down to the same thing: is, are they paying attention to you? Are you getting time and space in their lives, in their minds, in their hearts, around them, you know, with their bodies. Cool. And spiritually, does it feel like you and they click on a really natural but deep level, and they feel really comfortable around you and very loving and very affectionate? More often than not, you know, we all have our time periods maybe of dealing with fear, stress, or whatever that can interfere with that, but more often than not, is there just a natural feeling that they feel, and by extension maybe you feel, but especially if they feel that, that's a really good sign. It's a really good sign. All right, this has been a true pleasure. There's so much more we could talk about, but yeah, if you'd like more information, as always, I'm offering readings. The information, again, contact with me and to book a reading is in the About section of this video. And also, I'm working on a book, super excited. It's an astrology book, of course, about all of the different astrological chart placements. So Sun in Taurus, Sun here, Moon there, Rising here, Mercury here, Venus there. Again, if you haven't seen a full birth chart, you should really check it out. And then you should come buy the book. Either way, whether you've seen a birth chart or not. It's not quite done at the making of this video. I'm still editing it. But when it is finished, maybe it's already finished by the time you watch this, the link to buy that will be also in the About section. And there's so much information. There's all the information. It's over 250,000 words at this point right now, and it's probably going to grow another tens of thousands of words. So, yeah. And, yeah, I hope this has helped you and serves you and your Taurus. Infinite love to you, my friend. Namaste.